See Barbarella do her thing with the nice angel.
Jane Fonda is officially on board with the Barbarella remake, and I'm here for it. Sydney Sweeney is set to take on the iconic role that Fonda made famous, and while Sweeney always brings her own flair to every character, this one is definitely a big deal. Barbarella is a stunning space adventurer, and let's be real, Sweeney totally looks the part. But what makes this even more exciting? Fonda not only supports the remake, but is even open to a possible cameo. At first, Jane Fonda wasn't exactly thrilled about the Barbarella remake. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, the original star shared her concerns, mainly about the film's sexiest undertones. Fonda, a trailblazer for women in Hollywood, admitted she tries not to think about it too much because she worries about how it will turn out. She even had her own vision for a more feminist take on Barbarella, but original producer Dino De Laurentiis wasn't interested at the time. Now, Jane Fonda is sending her best wishes to the team behind the Barbarella remake. When asked about it, she admitted no one had approached her, but she'd love to see a new take on the story, just not with her in the lead. Speaking to Vogue, Fonda said she had plenty of ideas for what a remake could look like. As for Sydney Sweeney, Fonda hasn't met her, but she thinks she's great and has no doubt she'll make an amazing Barbarella. If Sweeney ever reaches out, Fonda's happy to share her thoughts. With Sweeney taking the charge, Sony's new movie is shaping up to be one of the most hyped sci-fi remakes. Throughout 2024, there's been plenty of buzz about Barbarella. Rumor has it that Edgar Wright, the award-winning director of Baby Driver and Last Night in Soho, might be directing, though nothing's been confirmed yet. As for the script, international best-selling author Blake Northcott, who recently launched a new Barbarella comic series, is reportedly on board. Variety had mentioned back in May 2024 that Jane Goldman was in talks for the job, but Collider later confirmed Northcott had signed on. Bringing Blake Northcott onto the screenwriting team means the new Barbarella movie will likely stay true to its roots. In an interview with Nerdspin about her Barbarella comics, Northcott shared her approach, saying, "I wanted to make it sexy and fun. My goal was to bring it closer to the original source material, the Jane Fonda movie and the comics it was based on. We aimed for a retro-futuristic vibe, which was a big aesthetic in the late 60s and 70s. Our amazing artist, Anna Morozova, nailed that look perfectly. She's been an absolute joy to work with, and I can't imagine anyone else bringing this series to life." Northcott is also a big fan of Sweeney, and has no doubt she's the right choice for the iconic Barbarella role. She said, "Sydney Sweeney has everything needed to bring Barbarella to life. She's confident in her sexuality, incredibly smart, and has a great sense of humor about herself. Right now, she's the only person I can picture playing Barb. A few years ago, I'm not sure the world was ready for a Barbarella reboot, but things are changing, and honestly, Sydney is a huge part of that shift." Right now, Sydney is the only star connected to the movie, but if the movie draws from the 1968 Jane Fonda version, we might see some big names in the cast soon for the roles of Black Queen, Pygar, etc. The original Barbarella takes place in an unspecified future and follows the daring space adventurer as she's sent by Earth's president to track down Durand Durand in the Tau Ceti system. He's the creator of a dangerous weapon, the positronic ray, which Earth's leaders fear could cause massive destruction. Barbarella crash lands on Tau Ceti's 16th planet, where she's knocked out by two kids who drag her to a crashed spaceship and unleash creepy mechanical dolls with razor-sharp teeth on her. She's saved by Mark Hand, a catchman who roams the ice hunting down stray children. He tells her Durand is in the city of Sogo and offers her a lift back to her ship in his ice boat. As a thank you, Barbarella asks how she can repay him, and Hand suggests they have sex. This confuses her, since in her time, people don't do physical intimacy anymore. They just take pills until they reach full rapport. Hand convinces her to try it the old-fashioned way, and after experiencing it firsthand, she enjoys it, but still finds it primitive and distracting compared to Earth's ways. After leaving the planet, Barbarella crashes into a labyrinth where outcasts from Sogo have been exiled. There, she meets Pygar, a blind angel who has lost the will to fly. He introduces her to Professor Ping, who offers to fix her ship. Hoping to help Pygar regain his strength, Barbarella has sex with him and it works. He's able to fly again and carries her to Sogo, a city filled with chaos and debauchery. When they arrive, the Black Queen and her concierge capture them. The concierge explains that Sogo is powered by the Mathmos, a living liquid energy source that feeds on evil thoughts. Pygar is strung up in a mock crucifixion, while Barbarella is trapped in a cage full of attacking birds. She's rescued by Dildano, the leader of an underground resistance, who agrees to help her find Durand. He also gives her an invisible key to the Black Queen's Chamber of Dreams, where she sleeps. Back in Sogo, Barbarella is caught again by the concierge, who straps her into the Exexive machine, a device meant to pleasure her to death. But instead of breaking her, she overwhelms the machine, causing it to malfunction. Stunned, the concierge reveals that he's actually Durand Durand. Barbarella is shocked. He's supposed to be 25, but the Mathmos has aged him dramatically. Durand has his own agenda. He wants to overthrow the Black Queen and take over Sogo. To do that, he needs his positronic ray and access to the Queen's Chamber of Dreams. After taking Barbarella there, he locks her inside with the invisible key. She finds the Queen, who warns that if two people are in the chamber at once, the Mathmos will consume them. Meanwhile, Durand seizes control just as Dildano and his rebels attack the city. The Black Queen retaliates by unleashing the Mathmos to destroy Sogo, but instead of hurting Barbarella, it senses her innocence and forms a protective bubble around her and the Queen, carrying them to safety. They land outside, where Pygar is waiting. He picks them up and flies them away. When Barbarella asks why he would rescue the Queen after everything, he simply says, "An angel has no memory of the past." The original Barbarella had a simple but memorable story, kicking off with a strong opening that grabbed attention and left a lasting impression. With Sydney Sweeney taking on the role, this reboot has the potential to be even bigger. The 1968 film was part of a wave of Italian adaptations of European comics called fumetti, embracing the late 60s vibe of playful fetish fashion and mild sadomasochism. While some modern audiences might see Barbarella as a bit old-fashioned, its visual style made a huge impact on pop culture. The film's costumes influenced Jean-Paul Gaultier's designs for The Fifth Element, and Jane Fonda's metallic dress by Paco Rabanne is still legendary. Lisa Eisner even called Barbarella the most iconic sex goddess of the 60s. Over the years, Barbarella has become a cult classic, ranking number 40 on Entertainment Weekly's list of top 50 cult films in 2003. It still has a dedicated fan base, with online communities, collectibles, and even a Barbarella festival in Sweden. With all the hype building up over time, Sydney Sweeney has the perfect chance to make the most of it. The original Barbarella is a cult classic, but with Sweeney in the lead, this reboot could be even more unforgettable. What do you think about this new take on Barbarella? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. We've got more updates on this and other exciting movies and shows coming your way. We'll see you next time.